Fontaine! But yeah, I'm super excited. I cannot wait to explore Fontaine. Carabat?
Caravan Rebat. Now let Paimon think. What were we up to the first time we came here?
I just want to put it out there quickly. I do have a prediction list for what's going to happen in the Archon quest. Just the whole, like, 4.0 in general for, like, all the story-related content, which you can see here. Beautiful, I know. So we're going to be seeing if any of those are going to be right. I'm confident on the first one. The first one's pretty much confirmed.
Paimon remembers. Nahita's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor. But we followed the clues she left behind to help her.
Good memory, Paimon. Thank you for the recap, but I've already watched a recap video, so we're good.
So much time has already passed since then. And it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahita's in charge, right?
Yep.
Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time. And then Nahita won't have any more new problems to deal with.
I don't know about that. Yeah, but as long as we're around, it's hard to say what will happen. Yeah, if the main character's around, everything is just gonna go terribly.
Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it.
I wonder why.
Who knows what will happen next? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you.
Whoa!
Maybe it's just a magnet for trouble.
Whoa, I'm fine with admitting it, but don't put that on me, Paimon. Yeah, I was thinking you might be the problem, Paimon. Yeah, what are you hiding, Paimon? Go on.
Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble.
Lies.
At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out.
You fly, how?
Anyway, for Nahita's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
How do you get, why were you flying over water when you're tired? Okay, Paimon, a lot of questions, but I'll let you off the hook. Next up, Fontaine.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
10 out of 10 Archon quest, love it already.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious business.
Like every
Even though it may have
6
nothing
weeks.
to do with our journey. But never mind that. What brings you here?
I'm always fine with seeing deer again.
I just
Gotta love
finished
it.
a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back.
Alright, fair enough.
That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were you two talking about anyway?
We're preparing to leave Sumeru and head to Fontaine. You know what? It's been quite the pleasure. Oh, hey, whoa.
You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. I guess you'd never stay for too long in one place.
Hey, oh no, that side-eye was mad. What's he planning? I will body him.
Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. I'm starting to feel sad just thinking about it.
Aw, it's
Hey,
fine.
how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you say?
How about you, escorters?
Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see everyone when we get a chance.
Yeah, when everything goes
Sounds
terrible.
good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways.
Okay.
Knowing you two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle.
Easy enough.
So, when are you leaving?
Literally, like, right now. We'll leave as soon as we finished a few more preparations.
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet.
We've been here for
Now,
like a
where
year.
is that list Paimon made?
Paimon, we... who are you, man? What are you doing? I know you're from Fontaine. There we go.
I see.
Alright,
Guess
bye.
you won't be needing a going away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this.
I'm fine with getting a pie. I want to see everyone together again.
Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
Hey, you played a part in
By
it.
the way, should we go say bye to Nahita?
Can't we just, like, contact her? Don't we have that connection? Because that's part of one of my predictions. We're going to be talking to Nahida whilst we're in Fontaine. Just give her like a little call up. She'll know from our dreams anyway. Yep.
Ah, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon.
Aw, this is
Whether
sad.
as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Alright, take care, dear.
Goodbye, dear. Bye-bye, Sumeru.
No. I'm glad it was dear to send us off, though. After settling matters in Sumeru, you approach the border with Fontaine. Here we are. I'm guessing. Oh, I know this area. Whoa! That does just look beautiful, doesn't it? Oh, God, I love that so much, dude. That is sick! Alright, bloody hell, where do we start here? Instead of gliding, we'll just pop on down in it. And off we trot. Into Fontaine we go.
After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it. Oh, this must be Fontaine's port. Wow, everything looks so advanced in Fontaine. Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines.
Yeah, and we've got the automatons as well. Which, that leads me to believe that we might see the other Fatui Harbinger here, the one with the giant mech, as like a side appearance. So I heard, and it's about what I imagined. Yep.
Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do.
Like what? Go on, guide. Tell us.
What do you think?
Let's start by meeting the Hydro Archon. You know what? Fair enough. Great place to start.
Good idea. Nahida gave us loads of useful information.
That's not going to be the case with any other Archon. Nahida just gave us everything.
Probably still our best source for information at this point.
I keep forgetting their name. It's so adorable. Our journey is to find my sibling and also find the truth.
Yeah, the more we can learn, the better.
Yeah, what's up with you, Paimon?
What do you think the Hydro Archon's like?
Brat.
Will we get along?
Nope.
Nahida said that she has a very unique personality. Whatever that means.
Brat.
To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
Alright, let's see the Fontaine drip.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
I'm guessing they're talking about someone who got charged with a crime and got sent to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
God, it's just like court drama, I'm guessing.
Excuse me. Can I help you two? I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Oh, Lynette. Alright, sudden appearance. Didn't expect that.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seem to be really busy talking about some kind of play, so we didn't want to interrupt.
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
God, that does not sound like a pleasant place to live. Just, like, someone could have just murdered your entire family and you're trying to bring them to justice, and then you've got people in the crowd being like, oh my god, this is... Ooh, good drama. You know, I'll be like... I would just be sat there like, yo, bro, shut up, man.
Really? Like, a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Yeah, man, sign me out.
Good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough.
Bro, that sounds
But
awful.
it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
So they see trials as a sort of opera. Sounds awful.
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine's way of doing things.
I'm with you, Paimon.
It's just that putting someone on trial is usually a very serious thing.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon.
I'm not going to remember these
And the
names.
Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
Right, because nothing is going to go wrong in that department, is there? Yeah, let's rely on the man who is possibly a dragon or a fish app. A judgment device created by the Archon. So, what happens if the Gnosis gets taken away then? You're all screwed.
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should check it out if we get the chance.
Yeah, and then get falsely accused. Sounds fun.
Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House.
Fair
Lady
enough.
Furina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
Wait, where's Lynette gone?
Huh. I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether or not she has any time slots available.
Alright, let's just go commit a crime then. That'll make it easier, won't it? Make an appointment.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
No. Lady Furina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
I thought everyone kind of hated her. Oh no, that's the like Oceanites, right? The Logfall or whatever they're called.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Look at that little guy.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before.
The previous Archon was very abused.
Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yep. Oh, there's
Yeah,
Lynette.
I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Bit
Hang
weird.
on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should show some more respect.
Respect? Yeah. Says the people that turn actual criminal cases into a court, like an opera. You can't talk about anything with respect.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and find myself face to face with Monsieur Neuvillette.
Monsieur.
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
I don't know. Seems like the people of Fontaine really do like the Fontaine Archon, though.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House.
Yeah, look at Lynette. Thank you.
But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Guess we could have a look around the city in the meantime. Hey,
Alright.
what are you looking over there for?
Yo, we had a stare down. There's a girl over there. She's been standing alone for quite some time.
Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she?
Jump.
Maybe we better go check on her.
Bro, it's just jumping in the water. It's if we do it all the time, Paimon. Oh, alright. Thank you. Prelude of Arlecchino Nozor. I'm gonna be butchering these names like there's no tomorrow. Hello, Lynette.
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Madam?
Huh?
Hello?
I'm fine. Thanks.
Hey, right.
Okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
I'm in the same boat here, right? If I was in this world and I was in this location, I would just be sat looking at the waterfalls for like hours.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself.
Nah.
I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there.
Which one? Which one? there's multiple.
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
The place that they played as probably got flooded, right? Since the water levels are rising. Maybe they're mermaids.
No, people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water.
Yep.
And no, I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now, it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea.
So where is the true sea? Like...
But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories.
There's the trailer line.
It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting.
Ah.
Are you Lynette's new friends?
Hello, Lene. Lenai, however you pronounce your name. What a pleasure. Hello, good sir.
Oh, and you are?
Here we go.
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern.
And you are, good sir?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lyney, and this is my
Lyney.
sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
God, Paimon, please, for the love of God. Please stop saying Paimon is Paimon. I wouldn't have guessed. Please, just introduce yourself normally. My name is Paimon. I know, very difficult.
We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
She's talking very cryptic.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
We're special.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason.
Because you never shut up. Yeah, there's hardly anything left for me to say with you around, Paimon. Because you always steal all my lines.
So that's how you think it is?
Yeah.
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Yeah, amen.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
Punch him.
What did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories? And that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Mysteries.
That. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now.
There's this theory who, like, prophesized that it was one of the witches, Mona's master, which I feel like that is probably the person who did it.
Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now.
And what is happening?
Where to begin?
Lord dump.
Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We
All
still
right.
haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
I feel like we have.
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler.
Now, what are you gonna do? I don't trust Lenny, alright? His trailer with the hypnosis, this man is already sus. He's on my sus radar. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you.
And hello, Paimon.
What, where are you touching, my guy? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Oh,
What?
all right then.
Man,
Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now.
Man, why you gotta make yourself even more sus, man? Come on.
By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
Now he knows we want to meet the Hydro Archon. That's why he's gonna go disguise himself as Focalors. I see you.
So you're going to see Lady Furina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please, follow me.
I don't trust you, Lyney. I do not trust you. Squad. Alright, watch this. You ready? Watch this. I'm right next to him, so he's gonna come home. It's so funny. It's that easy. It's just that easy. Oh, I love it. This game is too easy. I can start saving for the next banner now.
You said you were going to see Lady Furina? Well, it seems Lady Furina has come to see you.
Oh, how nice. This is a bit too much, guys. I forgot your name. Title card? Okay. The introduction hype. Ayo, the flex. Okay.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
Probably the guy we saw back in Caravan Rebat, right? He was giving us the side eye. Probably informed her.
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all. Raise your glasses in celebration.
It's empty.
If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu.
Whoop whoop. Yeah, woo!
As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come,
This is a
let
bit
us
too
make a
much.
toast in honor of this traveler and her companion, who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Yeah, alright, stop it, guys. Oh, okay.
Is she talking about us?
No, Paimon. No. Nobody here seems to be holding a class. Speak for yourself.
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally.
Whoa! I just realized her eye design. Holy! That looks sick. I really like
Fear
that.
is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will
Whoa.
never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity.
She's got a god complex. We're gonna be dealing with quite a lot this Archon quest.
Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner.
Alright, very punchable already. Very nice.
I, Focalors, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Whoa! Well, finding the Archon was easy enough.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes.
Like, new record, right? Actually,
The Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it? A little over the top?
it's all about presentation, Paimon. I feel like this is the quickest we've seen an Archon, right? I mean, we saw Venti pretty quick with Dvalin.
Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
What? I can't hear you.
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding.
Yeah.
Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities.
Definitely
You
awestruck
had
by
best
something
stop
else.
and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god?
It was him.
All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
See, I knew it was you, you sneaky little thing. Called it.
Oh, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Feels like she can't get over herself. Hey, wait, she heard that?
What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Don't know. Tell me where my brother is.
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Oh, too bad she's gonna have to deal with Paimon, so.
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Furina here. What a surprise!
Yeah, she's here for
What?
us.
Does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Oh yeah, we're famous in Fontaine because of the Steambird. Gotcha.
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Furina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
God, this
Of
is gonna
course.
turn into a
That's the blonde
big...
traveler, the one all those stories are about. Lady Furina came here to personally see her. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
This is gonna be quite the court drama.
Got to see this. I knew Lady Furina would never disappoint.
Alright, calm down, guys.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite roused.
Ah, he's so
And
cool.
despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus.
Whoa, I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to handle of this.
You may consider this my reward to all of you.
It might grow on
I
me.
have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Alright, we get to scrap with an Archon? Sure.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Alright, fighting gods have got a resume. Let's go, boys. Yo, gods, go away.
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
So? I'm beating a man-made god, try me.
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Are you deaf? You provoked me.
Stand down, Clorend. I admire her bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. She is obviously a true warrior.
You've obviously heard our stories, right? Okay.
Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
I'm sure it will.
Huh. Yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
Alright.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. They're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
I hate these guys already. I hate them.
Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
Alright, time to get our lawyer Yan Fei to help us. This is the best time, please.
All right. Now that'll be worth seeing.
Alright, it is kind of
Right.
interesting.
This is Fontaine, after all. Such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house.
Hey, she's farming that clout. You gotta respect the grind.
Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
I mean, we haven't committed any crimes, but we're gonna be falsely accused. That much is obvious.
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it?
Obvious? I mean, we have technically committed quite a few crimes, but...
According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Oh, what? Because Paimon is beside us? God damn it, Paimon. You've ruined us all.
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Furina. No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
Stupid law.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
I'm sorry, Paimon. You have to go.
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
I would like to speak to my lawyer. Thank you.
My apologies, Lady Furina. I don't mean to spoil the fun, but if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
Alright, okay. Lenny's gonna be our stand-in lawyer.
You tell her, Lyney. Finally,
Lyney.
someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
It's not the worst thing you've been called, is it?
Ah, great magician Lyney, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object, but how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
Paimon is a sentient being, so is not an object. There we go. Prove my innocence. Let's call it a day. Wrap it up. Easy.
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show.
He also likes clout.
With such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Stage is all yours. Oh, he just gave himself a burst. What are you doing, man? Yo, leave me alone. What's this?
Ta-da!
Hey, I mean, what have you done?
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did you do that?
Ah, so when he... See, I knew we shouldn't have trusted him, man. See, he's done something to us. I don't like it. Alright, we don't need a flashback game. It happened like 10 minutes ago.
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the traveler's hand all along.
No.
It was just that no one could see it before.
No, I don't want to be attached to this whole story quest, please. Let me go.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's some sass.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Furina's charges no longer hold water.
Alright. But it... She enjoyed it.
Amusing. Very amusing, Lyney. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy.
So that's what we have to deal with.
Today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case,
we knew that.
Consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person.
It's easy as that.
But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands.
Hey, look, Focalors, you can do us a solid here, and can you judge the sages from Sumeru? They kind of got let off easy. The punishment they got was kind of lackluster, to say the least.
I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Lyney and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
Toodaloo! I actually like that she says that. I hadn't heard that in quite a while. I will body all of you. Quite the entrance.
And just than Paimon's ever seen. She never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Look, I don't think we're going to be getting any information out of the Archon anytime soon. Did you know that was going to happen?
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy.
Right.
So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Furina is?
A
She can
brat.
be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Yeah, confusing is a very good way to put it.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Lyney. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant.
That's bull.
It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
Isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
Well, we know what's going to go wrong
When there
already.
are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
Yeah, sure, and then we'll get falsely accused, which will tick off one of my predictions. The easiest one.
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
I would be delighted.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first.
Is there any way I can help?
You really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer.
Gotta give the traveler everything.
This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
No, they're gonna pull off like some big heist because they're gonna be like manipulated by Arlecchino. This is all a big ploy. I don't.
Huh?
Right.
What are they going to use it for?
Just a good old carrying bag, innit?
About that. You asked me before about the prophecy, right?
Correct.
Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails.
Alright, load
I'm
up.
not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine.
Do tell?
It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the
Sounds
end,
awful.
the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That actually just sounds awful. That sounds so depressing.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, if the region has laws like the one we just broke, I don't want to think about even more of the small, minor amount of laws you can easily break that just completely ruin your life.
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath.
Oh, ancestors.
Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia.
That seems
But
like
here in
that seems like
Fontaine,
it.
evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
Oh yeah, Celestia is theorized to be directly above Fontaine. Ooh, I wonder if we can stand underneath it.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But
Don't work that way, does
in
it?
the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
But now the water is engulfing our memories. It won't be long before it engulfs us.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
And those places are going to contain very important lore.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them.
What, you hold the bag in front of the water and it just sucks it up? It stops it from rising too quickly?
As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, can I have one? I mean, my bag is pretty big. We've got like 1,000 weapons stored in there, but, you know, extra space could be nice.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than a bit of rain.
Yeah, so if the prophecy is true, then there is no way to prevent the disaster. Unless a certain traveler comes in and solves all the problems.
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things.
True. I mean, if Celestia's involved, it's going to be pretty difficult.
Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.
Right, seems aggressive. Will I end up breaking some laws because of that? You gave an item to someone without their consent. You've broken the law.
What's this? So you also believe in the prophecy. Keep it. I won't have any use for it.
Man, take it.
You mean you don't believe in the prophecy?
No, I believe in the prophecy. But I also believe in another story.
Alright, go on.
The story says that people once lived in the ocean. They were one with the ocean and couldn't live apart from it. As time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels, encapsulating the sea within their bodies. Thus could people set foot on land.
My guy, you've just described evolution.
So, if you ask me, when the water rises and takes us all, it'll be like we're going home.
Yeah, we'll devolve back to fish.
Oh, we hadn't heard that one before. But people can't live underwater. They'll die. You should probably still take it.
No.
All right, I'll take it. I guess I just feel that being dissolved into the water doesn't necessarily mean death.
I mean, I would think it would. It sounds pretty ominous. Aye, aye, Captain.
Huh? I don't want that thing. Way I see it, if the prophecy's true, it's still gonna be a long time before the water can cover everything.
So, keep it until then.
Life is all about living in the moment. What use is there in worrying about the future all the time? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, when it's too late. Oh yeah, global warming's happening, but I don't know. We'll solve the problem when it actually happens, when it gets too bad, you know. We'll deal with the problems then.
You should still take it. You never know when it'll come in handy.
Yeah, man, just put it under your bed or something. I don't know.
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that if I start moving, that means I've already given up on the life I have now. I'd really rather not.
Fair enough, innit? We've done your work. There you go. I hope you're happy.
You already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast.
Clockwork.
So, what did people have to say? I bet you heard some interesting opinions.
Stubborn.
Yes, but that will change once disaster strikes. I know they'll change their minds, so it's only right to help them prepare.
Fair enough.
Is there anything else you need to do before we leave?
Please,
yes,
no.
One last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the court of Fontaine. Since we're out and about, I was thinking about bringing him some more materials.
Alright.
So, you want to collect materials? Just tell us what the materials look like and we'll help. Many hands make light work.
Doing a lot of chore
that would
work.
be much appreciated. We'll need some Romaritime flowers.
Don't have it.
I remember seeing them near the waterfront on the east side of the harbor.
I'm guessing this is to introduce us to, like, the location of new materials.
It electromaritime flowers.
Well, lucky enough, we got Hydro. God, you two are just... Alright.
You made
Slowly
quick work of
teleporting.
that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. I've also finished collecting a few here.
Alright.
Maybe next time you'll feel like helping too, Lynette.
Hey, bro, wait, hold on a minute. I don't see Hydro on any of you. How are you collecting them? This is some bull. Where's your Hydro vision, eh?
No way. I'm in power-saving mode today.
Vibe.
Otherwise, I fear I may not have any energy left for the performance at the Opera House.
I vibe with that.
Fine. Though the performance is still a long way off. Now that we're finished here, we should get ready to head back to the court of Fontaine.
Alright, I'm excited.
So, we're going to the court of Fontaine before we head to the Opera House? Good. Paimon wants a tour of Fontaine's largest city and try...
Food.
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Okay, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but them just walking away while Paimon was talking. Absolutely love that.
Huh? What's wrong with her? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Enhance.
She's obviously a thief.
Oh.
Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We divert attention, and a distracted audience is one that won't discover what you're really doing. Watch her movements carefully.
Attention, pickpocket. I love that. Oh, she's quick with it. I kind of lingered there for quite a while.
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps we should split up. You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll be her escape route if she tries to run.
Okay, fair enough. Understood.
All right, let's go.
Sure thing. Oh, hold on a minute. Baguette. Oh, good doggy, good doggy. The dogs are so dripped. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, damn. So all of this is cut off. Okay. Oh, the tree in the background, though? That's kind of sick.
This is the spot where Lyney wanted us to wait.
Yep. Ah. Ma'am, you need to be more, like, good at this.
Oh, look! Isn't that her?
You're having a panic attack. I mean, I would too, to be honest. Just committing, like, the most, like, minor crime could completely ruin your life here. Time to make the arrest. Oh.
Oh no! Did she notice us? She started running the other direction! What should we do? Should we chase her?
We've got Yolan. Let's just go after her. Go after her. Our job is to block... Oh, yeah, true.
You're right. She might also be trying to lure us away.
Ah, it's fine. You wait, but there's no sign of the thief. Well...
Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Lyney caught the thief.
I couldn't care less anyway if she got away. Let's go find Lyney.
Yeah, let's go.
Gonna be butchering these names like there's no tomorrow.
Are you sure that's all she took? You should check to make sure you're not missing anything else.
No, that was all. Oh, I can't thank you enough. I didn't notice a thing earlier.
Yeah, she was smooth with it.
Anyway, I should be going now. Thanks again.
Yeah. Doodles.
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her. She distracted me by dropping the thing she stole on the ground. By the time I looked back, she was already gone.
I mean,
I
Lynette.
saw the general direction she went, but Lyney twisted his ankle, and I needed to make sure he was okay.
Very convenient. Or it could be the case that you're all working together as like a big gang. I don't trust it.
Oh, did you get hurt, Lyney?
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle, that's all. In fact, it's feeling better already.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it. Imagine what would happen if you managed to derail our performance as a result.
Well, that's foreshadowing if I've ever seen it.
You're right, you're right. Sorry, Lynette. I have to admit that the thief was even more skilled than I had anticipated.
Really?
But at least we were able to get the stolen items back, so it wasn't a complete failure.
What a slippery little thief. Guess things turned out all right in the end, though. What
Yeah, we played right into his hand.
Alright, let's put this little detour behind us. We should go to the court of Fontaine now.
I don't trust him. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Paimon sped.
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around. People in Fontaine really know how to use water.
I mean, we've been using boats. It's nothing new to us.
This is an aqua bus. It allows people to travel between several key locations around Fontaine.
I can already tell I'm going to use this once, and that's it.
It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after a while.
There you
the
go.
The scenery is always the same. That's why it's better to travel with friends.
So you mean it's still
Friends.
boring even when I'm riding with you?
Ho, ho.
No, that's not what I meant. It's just that, well, you don't really talk that much.
Drama between Lyney and Lynette? Maybe? Still could happen.
Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip when it's just the two of us. It's the same as being at home.
Fair enough.
Whatever.
She's so blunt. I love it.
Guess that's what it's like to be an older brother.
Oh yeah, he is the oldest.
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on board.
How did you know that, Paimon? Weird, Paimon. Weird. Oh, Charlotte? Woo! Hello, Charlotte. Oh, I am glad we get to see Charlotte so early on.
Huh?
Oh, hello, Charlotte.
What?
Hey.
Traveler! Paimon!
Hello.
Charlotte!
So I wonder how this is, oh, it's cool that we're going along.
I'd bump into you
Oh.
while riding the aqua bus. In the story of my life, this is big news.
I didn't actually say anything there.
What are you doing in Fontaine? I didn't hear anything about you paying us a visit.
You never asked.
Yeah, it's quite the coincidence, but as travelers, we're always on the move. It's not surprising that nobody knew we were coming.
Vaz?
Though we still have no idea how the Hydro Archon knew about us. Oh, let Paimon introduce you to our new friends.
She already knows.
No need for introductions, Paimon. I would recognize the great magician Lyney and his assistant Lynette anywhere.
That's pretty
I
obvious.
wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who they were. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Yes, sir. I love Charlotte's character. She
Nice
really
to
grew on
meet
me in
you.
the TCG
From the
event.
Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performances.
Fair play to you, lad.
It's an honor to meet you.
Now that everyone knows each other, Fontaine suddenly doesn't feel like such an unfamiliar place.
Yeah. I like how the
So,
scenery's in the
what have you
back.
been up to lately, Charlotte? Any big news?
This is a cool way they've done it. It's not just
too much.
plain.
When there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle, even if it's the same old topics.
Yeah,
For
true.
example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days.
That would get my attention.
Ah, you're right. Seems you know me pretty well. What I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that can
Well,
shake the country.
We're gonna give you
Smaller
that.
stories are a waste of my talents.
We're definitely gonna
I
give
just
you that.
remembered. I've been following a case lately. Well, a series of cases actually.
Go
You
on.
mean the serial disappearances of young women case?
That's right. These stories are the talk of the town right now, and it's probably the most mysterious case we've ever seen. I'm
Dissolving
first with
into
a
the
draft
water.
ready to publish when the case is finally cracked, and it's the headline story in the Steambird. Oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed tears of envy. I've already gathered all kinds of materials. I just can't wait for the truth to be revealed.
Go at it.
What is the serial disappearances of young women case? You mean the culprit hasn't been found?
The Traveler's fine. We're old.
That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago.
Oh, damn. This has been
And
happening
ever
for
since,
quite a while.
after a period of time, another girl disappears.
what the cases have in common is that the girls are all of a similar age, and that they've all vanished without a trace.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
The scariest part is that to this day, none of the girls have ever been found.
Now, what age were they?
Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen.
This is weird, man. Then there must be more than one criminal at work. There may be a copycat criminal?
Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe that every case has some precise truth behind it, waiting to be exposed.
I mean, that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of those missing girls deserves some sort of explanation.
Yeah.
I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear. I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the culprit.
Come on, the foreshadowing. The foreshadowing, guys, come on. You continue talking on the Aquabus, and before you know it, you are arriving at your destination. We already know Lynette disappears.
Hey, we're almost there, look!
So that's the crime we're going to be accused of. We're going to be the criminal kidnapping the young girls. Oh God, that sounds awful. Hey, this looks beautiful. You know what? Visually, love it already. It just breaks, you go flying off. They've got the music down as well. I wonder what the battle music is gonna sound like. That's what I'm interested for.
Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of pleasant little surprises like this.
No, come back, Charlotte. Stay with us.
Yeah, us as well. The ride went by too quickly.
Yeah, that damn black screen.
I should get going before I'm late.
Alright,
Okay.
good luck.
Paimon hopes we can chat again soon, Charlotte. See ya!
Goodbye.
Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see me at the Steambird when you have time.
Yeah, if we don't get falsely accused by then.
What a tough job. Always running around and interviewing everyone. Well, where should we go now?
Whichever place they need us to go.
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first? Besides, I still have all the materials we collected.
Oh, I'm guessing that's the room we saw in the trailer.
We wouldn't mind at all.
The one with the big hat.
So huge, Paimon wouldn't know where to start anyway.
Alright, see what you're cooking in there. That's cool. Ah, man. I'm gonna be getting lost here for quite a bit. Lewis, my man, my guy, give me all your snacks. Fish and chips! Hell yes, brother. Oh, look at that. Solid. Can't go wrong with fish and chips. Thanks, Lewis. Oh.
This is
Feminine.
our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home.
Feminine?
Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Feminine is like the last way how I'm gonna call him Feminine. That's easier for me to remember.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. I suppose that can't be helped.
Father? Is Arlecchino considered mother?
Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
I can tell. With the big ass tank on his back.
Hello.
Saw dude.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. Oh, you sound very proud to have a diver as a brother, Lyney.
Just please, Paimon. My name is Paimon. Please, just it's not that hard. I mean, what a talented family.
Lyney, could you come here for a moment?
That was a weird laugh.
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me?
It's alright. You go ahead. What suspicious things are you talking about? Who's spying on us? What's going on here?
Okay, I see.
We can talk normal, and someone from, like, far away can hear us, but then when someone is talking within this range, we suddenly can't hear them. Okay, I see you, game.
Is everything alright?
Now, this is our
it's
place to be
nothing.
asking.
We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption.
Nah, that's sus.
Before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Fremine?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
There's something suspicious going on here, boys, and I'm not trusting you on it. Oh, it's raining. Man, there's the shelter right there.
Looks like rain.
It does look like rain.
You're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
That's
I'm
normal.
afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
I wonder if that has something to do with, like, the energy then?
What's wrong, Fremine?
He knows something.
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe.
Told you.
It said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain.
Oh, I know where the dragon is. He's currently disguising himself as the judge.
When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
And then you'll be detained because you become a public nuisance. And then you get sent to the Shadow Realm. Could the Hydro Dragon be the elemental dragon of Fontaine?
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very unusual.
See, it's every time there's a case going on, and because he's the judge, it adds up that it starts raining.
Let Paimon try something.
Alright, I've had it, Paimon.
Hydro dragon, don't cry!
Phenomenal.
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
I believe it.
You might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry, it might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers.
You know what? I also feel that as well. It's hard to believe something you've never seen. After some time, the rain stops. That pot's been cleared up.
It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
I guess the trial went on for some time then.
Was there something you needed to do, Lyney?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aqua bus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island of Aeneas. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
You know, he's playing us like a fiddle. He's got us wrapped around his finger. Sounds good. You go on ahead.
Oh, are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pockets, is that it?
I know, I already know what you're gonna ask. Yes, we'll help.
Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there?
Who would have guessed?
I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted, and the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
No trouble at all. Don't worry, we're on the case.
Easy enough, fella.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks. I'll think of a way to make it up to you.
Alright.
Oh, no need. This will be a walk in the park for us. Hello?
It's not.
Is there anyone here?
Rip.
hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Oh, a
no,
blacksmith.
We're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are. They're for making... what were they called again?
Magic bags.
These must be for magic pockets.
Pockets.
I could tell right away. I've already made several orders worth now.
Do we need to pay?
No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount.
That's
but they
suspicious.
insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run. It seems both their hearts and their pockets are made of gold.
Yeah, paying for the crime that they're about to commit.
Whoa. So, is Lyney actually loaded?
I can't say for sure, but who knows? Maybe there's good money to be made being a magician in Fontaine.
I mean, I see it.
Is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Beats all the labor.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology. And wasting is a kind of crime.
Hey, that's kind of controversial nowadays. Letting the machines take over? Yeah. Ooh.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Well...
Energy.
It's a little complicated. I'm not sure I can put it in layman's terms for you. But basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh? How can trials produce energy?
Science. I don't know.
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself, but basically...
Gnosis,
when
probably.
a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all around Fontaine.
I'm just saying, no matter how many times they say that name, I am never going to remember it.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgments.
I can already tell that the voice actors probably struggled with that.
But Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for these machines?
Well, Venti and Nahida both said the gods rely on belief to obtain power. True.
Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine, right?
So it is powered by the Gnosis then.
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature. Even now, it still cannot be widely used by civilians.
So these are the two power systems.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're already talking, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few words with me.
Yeah, me and the boys, we got some business with you.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month? Why are you hounding me now?
Time to beat some people up.
But how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Wow.
Huh?
You're a dickhead.
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials. Maybe now's a good time to leave?
Yep, sounds like the usual case of someone owing someone else money.
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first?
Hey, okay, I did not expect him to show up this early. Hello, child. My boy.
If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora.
Whoa.
So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation here?
Alright, these guys are dead.
You're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding me now?
How the tides have tabled.
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
Great to meet you, but whatever I just said there was awful.
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Yeah, before the Fontaine trailer dropped, I thought the next time we were going to see Childe was in Snezhnaya. We sure seem to have run into a lot of friends today.
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring.
Fair play.
But it seems that fate brought our paths together today.
Fate
Not
again.
only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble.
Amen.
Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
See, Childe knows.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
I mean, I don't mind a little excitement every now and then.
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
I would have
Don't
just...
interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
Bro, I would have ran.
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your friends?
Yes.
Listen to me, boy. If you want Chamora, fine. Why don't you come and take it?
I mean, sure, my guy, sure.
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said...
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's see who has to pay up now!
Alright, fellas.
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients.
Time to break a few legs. I'm fine with it.
You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
Hey, can we ever turn in this? Go ahead. They're all yours.
I'm sure this won't take long.
Oh, we get to play? Alright. Fair enough.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
I should have drawn out a little bit so we heard the music.
What's your deal, Brat? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank?
Wait.
Wait. Don't tell me you're...
Oh, he's pieced it together.
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it?
I can't tell if there's music playing in the background. It's very low. Oh, so he does have his hydrovision.
Huh?
Oh. Oh, yeah, because he didn't have his hydrovision in the trailer. Oh, no. Oh, this is bad. That means he's going to have to rely on the delusion.
Now's my chance.
Oh, whoa, ho, ho. I mean...
Huh. That was weird.
I mean, I've got to respect the guy for going for the chance, but still an idiot. Are you feeling alright?
I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
Ah, so people are losing power of their vision now. Ooh. I wonder if this is all hydro users then.
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
Yeah, you better not use your delusion too often. We've seen what that does to people.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? I don't see its work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Oh, therapy session.
What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about anything?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself.
Childe is of the few Fatui Harbingers that can be redeemed. A lot of the Fatui Harbingers are never going to be playable.
But recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me. And I don't know why, but every now and then I feel like I'm in a terrible mood.
Ah, anxiety or depression. Welcome to the crew.
Maybe you losing control of your vision just now is connected with that power you're feeling inside.
True. Good call, Paimon.
That is a possibility.
Wow, Paimon. Alright, respect. Do you have any idea where it came from?
I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss.
Oh god, okay, so we are actually having a therapy session.
It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk.
Skirk?
She was always quiet
Ooh.
and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through, and she was always very strict when teaching me combat techniques.
I've never actually read it into
I asked
Childe's
her why she was
thing.
willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, it was...
Yeah, I never read his backstory, so I don't know if this is already information we knew.
Because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
Ah, so we're gonna be seeing Mr. Worldwide somewhere else again. Well, Snezhnaya, obviously, but I'm guessing he's gonna play an important role in the future then?
But what is it? What did you awaken?
He probably doesn't know either.
She never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss.
Oh,
in my
go on.
dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
Ah, is that the same whale we see in his boss fight?
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
I mean, we kill him before that happens, but...
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
That's kind of cool.
You used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to Paimon.
Really? I feel like that's a very common thing, Paimon. The power inside you is connected to your incident in the abyss.
So why don't you just go ask your master? Maybe she knows the answer.
Might have brought up some old wounds there, Paimon.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss. But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember falling into the abyss.
Man got isekai'd.
Oh, it sounds like some kind of ghost story.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world tend to be elusive like that.
I mean, Fontaine's like underwater stuff, so he's probably gonna find some clues here. That's probably why he came here.
Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered I have somewhere else I need to be, so I should get going.
Alright, the guy's got away, by the way.
Work for the Northland Bank?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
That sounds fun.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
That seems pretty fun. Sign me up.
In Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist.
Ah, so it might be possible we do get to fight the Fontaine's Archon.
The champion duelists are all powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best.
Probably not.
And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no specified stopping point. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. But if they lose, they'll have no choice but to stand trial.
This seems like a really bad system. Like, you could go commit, like, the most heinous crime, but, you know, you won in a fight, so you're being let off.
And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel.
Yeah,
Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty. From what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death.
Until the Traveler comes along, we're gonna be the first one, and then Childe's gonna come and save us. Yep. Calling it.
So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble with your life?
Fair enough.
So, do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Probably not.
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor of its citizens. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as soon as I got to Fontaine.
Yeah, he's a battle junkie,
Apparently,
so...
the one I'm meeting today, Clorend, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
She's the Electro one, right? With the gun.
Paimon feels like we heard that name somewhere before. Chlorand. Huh.
Yeah, when we met the Hydra icon, but I am terrible at remembering names.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Oh, gift? Oh.
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
Hey, we finally obtained a vision. Fair enough, lad, I'll keep it.
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now.
That seems like a big hindrance that you don't have it whilst fighting the most famous fighter, right? Putting yourself at a huge disadvantage.
Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
I respect it, you know? Man's got the riz.
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
I mean, I'm fine with talking with him.
That sneaky guy.
Gotta be...
He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed the same as ever to Paimon. Well, since we don't have much to do for now, we might as well walk around and see the city before Lyney's performance.
I'm fine with that. If we, under Paimon's enthusiastic leadership, you walk around all around the court of Fontaine.
Wow!
I guess.
Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along!
Whoa, the spoilers! God, Paimon's the worst to be around. Hey, did you hear about this new movie that came out? Oh yeah, I did hear about it. Oh yeah, I loved it when that person died. I'm sorry, what?
Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. Paimon never saw that twist coming. The murder mystery novels here are amazing.
Yep, never thought I'll see the day when Paimon would enjoy reading.
The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House. Both have their merits, but Paimon thinks this style of novels are more, well, novel.
Who's done it? That is an amazing name.
It's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered, especially in the one Paimon was just reading. You should buy a copy and read it too.
Bro, you've already spoiled it.
Oh, sorry about that. Paimon will be more careful next time.
Terrible friend.
Hey, shouldn't we be heading to the Opera House to see Lyney's performance soon? It's almost time for the show to start, so we should get going.
Yeah, let's go get falsely accused.
Lyney said that the Opera House is on Arlecchino, so let's go ride the Aquabus.
Alright. So when does the... Immediately. Oh, alright. Bet.
Welcome to the Navia line.
Oh.
I am Elfan.
It is voiced.
The boat
Go away,
will be
Chief.
departing imminently. Please do not stick your head, hands, or other body parts outside the boat.
Okay.
The Aquabus operator is not responsible for any accidents or injuries resulting from doing so.
Try me.
Also, please remember to buy the Steambird, though I don't read it myself.
God, you need to be more... I mean, I guess after doing this kind of job for a while.
The destination of the current tour is Arlecchino. Points of interest worth visiting include the Fountain of Lucine and the Opera Epiclese.
She sounds fed up.
If you look to the left in the direction we are currently traveling, you will see the famous Fontaine Research Institute up in the sky.
Oh,
An
wait.
experiment gone wrong turned new sightseeing opportunity.
Hmm.
Human ingenuity truly is a wondrous thing.
The unknown god. Where's Celestia? Oh, we're not going to be seeing Celestia for quite a while. That's going to be in the next, like, area. It's getting so close.
We are now approaching our final destination. Please be sure to bring all your personal belongings with you as you disembark. Even though I will take any forgotten items to the lost and found, the paperwork is rather annoying, as Melusine hands are not suitable for grasping pens. Please be careful when disembarking. It has been my honor to be your tour guide this trip. Thank you.
Alright. Good job. See you later. Hey, this looks nice. Alright, here we are.
Now this is performance. No wonder Lyney and Lynette were looking forward to it.
Oh, I can see where a big amount of, like, maybe Fontaine's budget went.
Huh. Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child.
Ah.
We pray.
Wish him well.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
Fair enough.
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Oh, God. Get a room. Ugh.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
A lonely life. Whoa.
Vache.
Hello? It wouldn't be the Traveler if we don't start hearing stuff. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shut up, Paimon. We're getting voices again.
Vache. Vache.
Vache. Did you say something, Paimon? Come on, you should know by now. You're used to these weird voices.
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you hearing things?
Again? Whose voice was that just now?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here.
Vache.
It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children.
Lynette! You scared Paimon! When did you get here?
Yeah, she can turn into like a shadow.
When he asked me to wait here for you, remember?
Fair enough.
Right.
By the way, Lynette, I seem to hear a faint voice just now.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
Fair enough. It seemed as if the voice was coming from the fountain.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you? Besides, it's the middle of the day. It's not the time for eerie things.
Hey, that's what you would like to think.
See. I might be able to tell you something that could help explain the voice you heard. In fact,
Well done.
you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element. Others in my family have had similar experiences.
The music kind of going ham though. Yeah, we're used to the hypersensitivity of having the element. That's no surprise.
Sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have to do with elemental power?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
When she gets abandoned?
Just answer me. When do you cry?
Go on.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared.
Fair enough.
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions.
Alright, we're
Like I
getting
just
deep.
mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. Even the tears that fall to the ground will eventually gather here.
Ah, the dragon's
so maybe
tears.
what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
Or someone that knew the dragon. That is an interesting explanation. It is real though. Lynette, Lyney, Firminette, that whole family is kind of weird.
So, what did the voice say?
It seemed to be calling out someone's name.
Huh. If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened to them.
Died
Rather
probably.
than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother first.
Ah, what's happened?
Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance. So chatting with Lyney might help him relax a little before he goes on stage.
I mean, the man is probably about to pull off the biggest crime in Fontaine, so... like, stealing the Gnosis, I'm guessing? I would be pretty nervous.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Let's go in and see Lyney.
Oh.
Ah, Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Oh, of course.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
Yes, sir?
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take you to the best seats in the house. Wait just a moment. I'll fetch the tickets.
Ah, yes. The best seats to see the drama unfold. Thank you, Lyney. That was a good talk.
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Alright, the quick work.
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Lyney.
You know, it's obvious he's doing this to set us up to be falsely accused, but, you know...
Don't mention it.
Thank you.
There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lyney, could you come over here and take a look at this?
Yeah, no need to keep thanking
right
you.
there.
I wonder why.
Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll go lend him a hand.
There's a lot of things that seem to be going wrong here. Let's get busy.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Lyney.
Imagine if I am just completely overlooking this and I'm just shitting on Lenny. But there's just too many sus things about him. Oh, this looks sick. Oh, is that the judge?
Oh,
that is.
Your seats. Come on, let's sit down.
Yeah, don't question the guy sitting right there. Saw, dude. You're the dragon. I know you're the dragon. Honestly, it would be me.
Hey, Traveler.
Nah.
Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still, it's kind of awkward if we don't say anything.
Isn't that usually your job? Yeah?
Of course you put this on Paimon.
You little what?
Excuse me. I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I
Oh.
would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Please, just let us talk to you this entire quest. Your voice is heavenly.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down.
Yeah, because he's got dragon ears. I don't know. I think so far this is the best scene. It's simple, but I love it.
Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking
Oh,
under
boy.
her breath like that. So let's talk. But what should we talk about?
Oh, brother, this reminds me of my interactions with people. Oh.
Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Lyney's too?
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Lyney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
He's kind of a vibe.
So you're not friends with Lyney then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the
God
Traveler.
damn it, Paimon.
We just arrived in Fontaine.
Nice to meet you.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat. And as
Not
required
surprising.
by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
It's gonna get cut off.
Monsieur Neuvillette, what an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Ah, Mr. Lyney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
He seems very relaxed, but I feel like he's gonna have like that work mode that he switches into. Outside of the court, man's a vibe.
Wait, Neuvillette? Could he be?
He's the judge.
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Neuvillette is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That
Chief.
seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Man's got the treatment.
Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
I wonder if like the reason why Paimon is awkward is because he's a dragon. You never know.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work.
Arvisha.
Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really.
God, I love your voice.
By the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to.
Go on.
There's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now.
Yeah. Hello.
I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
Gotta deal with a brat.
So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Hi. Fair enough. She might grow on me.
It's Furina, the Hydro Archon. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Yeah, you can tell he's quite experienced to her antics.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
Yeah.
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
Well, let's enjoy it whilst it lasts. The crowd enters the venue, and the curtains open for the magic show. I'm guessing that's what it said.
Oh, they're dimming the
There we
lights!
go.
The show must be starting!
Paimon, shut up.
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Lyney.
Welcome.
And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Woo!
Hello, everyone.
Okay, I thought no one was gonna clap then. I would have felt so bad.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today.
Not gonna take away their vision. That mask is creepy.
Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
I don't trust that mask.
Good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Sleight of
Now,
hand.
without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations.
Whoa.
I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say.
He's gonna do hypnosis on us all.
You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
There you go. Oh.
A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
Oh, he's distracting us. Sure, I'll fall for your trick, Lyney. Alright, where's the penguin? Pigeon.
But this isn't what you came for.
Yeah, basic
These
stuff.
little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think?
Oh,
this one's a little
shows.
tricky.
It just pelts us with like a ball. Oh no. Lynette.
Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes.
Oh god. Here we go. Yeah, the music.
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top.
Well, that's... Man, I've never enjoyed stuff like this.
Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully.
Oh.
With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
Oh, well, there you go.
Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, even the Fontaine Archon was like, oh wait, hold on a minute, that doesn't seem right. Nah, she enjoys it. Okay, I kind of felt worried about that. I thought that's what we were gonna get falsely accused on. Okay.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't see him do anything!
God, what's gonna happen?
Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
I don't know, Paimon. Yeah, no wonder he's a famous magician. I mean, his sister as well.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking.
True.
To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
God, he sounds so familiar. Does he... Okay, weird thing I'm putting out here, but does he voice Professor Layton? I'm gonna have to look it up after this.
Thank you everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here.
I'm sure you have.
The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen.
That's cool.
I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all.
That is true.
In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations.
Alright,
So,
what are you
for
cooking?
my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member.
I wonder who it's gonna be!
Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience.
This is where everything's gonna go bad.
I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box.
I'm guessing this is where the disappearances happen.
Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! How's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lyney have actual superpowers?
From what we've seen in his teaser, he can, like, visually change things. Let's just watch and see.
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector.
I'm very
sure. It
sure.
selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate.
Right.
Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute.
Oh, young girl, she's gonna disappear. Well, rest in peace.
Come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box.
Oh.
I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible.
Sign me out, Chief.
You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box.
It's gonna be like an elevator.
If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
That's the prison.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah,
right.
sign me out.
Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like.
Give the elevator enough time to get down.
I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh,
right.
And no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Alright.
Ooh, Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that.
Yeah, I'm sure Lenny's prepared for that outcome anyway.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together.
You're
Come on,
delaying a lot of
repeat after
time.
me. 60, 59,
58.
60,
59, 58.
That's right, perfect.
Oh, the music.
Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
Oh, we've already stopped now, aren't we? No, she's already gone.
54, 53,
52.
Why aren't you counting, Neuvillette?
You can't
I'm
be asked.
counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is.
Yeah,
Merely
fair
a
enough.
consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
I like the music.
Alright. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something. 40, 39,
38.
Mr. Lyney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic.
It goes back in time.
It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
Bit possible.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all.
I think it's just all part of the show. Ah! He just starts screaming.
What was that noise? Did you hear it too?
Did it come from the stage? Maybe it was to just divert our attention.
Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
Probably very normal.
25, 24,
23? This is a very slow countdown.
What's wrong, Mr. Lyney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Here we go.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
I don't.
19,
18, 17.
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It
Bull.
feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown.
Alright, he's
10
playing up.
seconds and change is still plenty of time.
Another cook. Yeah.
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7.
Hey, slow down! Honestly.
5, 4.
Whoops! That doesn't count!
Nah, this is cute.
Ta-da!
Yeah, but where's the girl? Oh shit! Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Well.
What happened?
Well. Rest in peace. I mean, that's one way to successfully kidnap someone.
Is this part of the show?
Very smart of you.
Miss to fix the stage now, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Here we go.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
Wow, she's flustered.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
Yeah, we're gonna be the ones falsely accused, I'm guessing. After some time, the Guardians complete their investigation.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead.
Whoa.
His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Lyney's magic troupe.
Wow, confirmed death right in front of our eyes? That's very rare.
Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found.
Successfully kidnapped another girl.
It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance. And there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
Yep.
The serial disappearances case?
So that coming from a mile away.
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know, to pull it all off like this in front of the Archon and the Chief, that is some big balls.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing.
Really?
Really. Using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly?
Ma'am?
I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Lyney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
Oh, maybe I predicted this wrong. Maybe Lenny's the one that has been set up to be falsely accused.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not?
I mean,
now
fair
that
point.
I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
Yeah. Okay. The more she talks, the more I just think he's being falsely accused, like he's being set up.
That can't be right. How could Lyney do this?
Alright, let's not jump to conclusions.
Stage the entire time. We could even hear his voice.
I mean, it's Arlecchino.
Before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
I mean, he is a suspect. It is what it
Save
is.
discussion for a later time, please. Lady Furina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Lyney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
What?
I just think that I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
Wow, okay, so she has no backbone whatsoever. I expected it a little bit from the first introduction, but wow. So she acts like a brat and all high and mighty to make up for what she doesn't actually have.
But what Lady Furina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
So that's why she's not the judge.
And murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Furina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what
exposed.
excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Lyney, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
Whoa, hold on a minute. Yeah, alright. Yeah, the music though. But yeah, I do trust Lyney.
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met.
Alright, let's scrap. Sure thing.
But with Lyney's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome.
We'll see about that.
No more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
I want my lawyer.
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
Shush,
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order.
I just love how no one's like surprised like there's a dead guy.
Well, Traveler, seems Lady Furina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Lyney's attorney and defend him in this case?
Bro, we are not suitable for this. Oh, does that mean we're not getting Yanfei? Come on, guys. Yeah, I guess I am.
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth.
Alright.
Lyney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
So, I guess the prediction falsely accused is wrong. Sag.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Bro, we kick ass. We don't... Okay. Everyone is dismissed, and the audience begins to leave, along with Furina and Neuvillette. Hello, you two. Your crime was successful.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
It did catch me off guard.
Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Like, I knew it fell in the trailer, but I didn't know when it was gonna fall. Like, I thought it was gonna fall when Lynette was in it.
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
Honestly, it's hard to tell.
I understand. Even I'm not sure what happened, so I can only imagine how difficult it is for you to grasp the situation.
I feel like he's played a part, but he doesn't know the true, like, plan, you know? A lot of it's being left hidden from him, you know, because the true mastermind is obviously going to be Arlecchino.
I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not, and I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did.
Can we check the box? You know, check for like an elevator or something?
Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
It is very strange.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Okay. Did not expect that, but where did you get those glasses?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh?
My money.
Don't worry. Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
My
I
funds.
think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
They look awful.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self.
Someone's just been murdered, my guy. I feel like you're allowed to be in distress a little bit.
But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence.
Yeah, can we, like... I know we said we're gonna act as, like, your attorney, but can we, like, hire someone else? We have a pretty good candidate for it.
Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
You do not want Paimon as your attorney, God forbid. Jesus. You really don't.
Yes, thank you so much.
I'm not used to this sort of thing.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh,
we're not qualified.
Start investigating. Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
Brother, this is not the time for that. Someone has died and someone has disappeared. You can't be pulling this. Oh, yeah, we can't tell you what happened because, you know, it's a trade secret.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Lyney.
There you go.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial.
Now we gotta figure out some new tricks.
A pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it.
Perfected in killing someone.
But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Seems easy enough.
So have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case.
Alright.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
Well, Lyney's and Lynette's attorneys.
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Furina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
I mean, we didn't have a choice, fella. We really didn't. We are not qualified for this.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Lyney's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged.
What's up with that leg?
As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it.
Yeah, but why was Cal inside?
This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap.
So I feel like what it was is there was like some sort of like elevation system that swapped them out. Well, Quell was part of like Arlecchino's like group, along with like Lyney and that, and he was just said to be sacrificed. Or maybe he's part of the Fatui. Who knows?
All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. Yeah. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Lyney is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
Okay, he was set up.
He doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of his?
Nope.
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
Yeah, we've known him for a day.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys.
Brother, how we became his attorney is mad. Can we just go and get Yanfei? This will be much easier.
I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand.
Yeah?
I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
I mean, I kind of agree with that. I mean, that's not always true.
Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good.
Hey, no, I
anyway,
appreciate
you
it.
Investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious.
Great
Who
fella.
knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
Nah, I respect him. God, we actually have to collect evidence. Please call Yanfei. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. He was well trusted by all of his colleagues. His job was setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. See, that's the suspicious part. He was part of the props.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall.
Yes.
The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
So either Lyney didn't realize this was a safety concern, or...
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
I'm just looking at where the rope snapped.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material!
Ah.
Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
It seems to be flammable, like a type of flash cotton.
Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means...
It was a setup.
Wait, why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
Alright. Special rope. Obtained. Mr. Guard.
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Could you tell us who she is?
Sure. It's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person.
Okay.
Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
Ah, a bit
Apparently,
famous.
she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her, and we have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects.
So she was kind of famous then.
Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us.
Seems they have like some sort
Apart
of
from the fact that they were all young
trend.
women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
Guess not then. Thanks for letting us know all this.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us.
I'm sure we'll see her
It is of
again.
utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Yes, sir. The broken magic box was left on the scene after the guards completed their investigation. Looking at it now, the water tank must have struck it really hard.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
True.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Lyney and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
See, that was a prop, and that means Cowell tampered with it, if my theory is right.
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
I'm trying my best.
Lyney used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time.
Ah. We have to figure out who has connections to figure out where everyone's seated beforehand.
I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Lyney knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
True.
That much checks out. Lyney reserved our seats for us too.
Yeah, so it seems like this is all just to plan everything on to Lyney. Because that's the trend, that there's always suspects, but when they get arrested, there's always another disappearance later on.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lyney.
Alright, thank you. Sorry for bothering.
Even though it's bad for Lyney's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Random number selector. There's gonna be something wrong with this. This is what I'm interested on. It looks like an ordinary box, but Lyney somehow moved instantly from the stage to being inside of it. How did he do it? Alright, that's it. We're not gonna like see if there's some sort of lift inside of it. I feel like that would be the play.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too.
And who are
If
you?
you find any new and interesting leads, Be sure to share them with me, alright?
Why would I do that?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Why would we do that anyway?
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud?
Oh, true.
Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it.
Alright,
It's
good
just
call.
that everyone was awaiting the results of Lyney's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
I guess that goes for like a lot of what he did, since it's come to the point where you don't know which was like an act and what wasn't.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lyney's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Ah.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Blaming the other one.
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
So my theory on this is the mastermind is going to be Arlecchino, but she's using the members of her family to take the fall pretty much. Like putting the blame onto them, making it look like they're the main suspects. So, you know, they can keep kidnapping young girls for some reason. Then wouldn't the water tank have started to swing a bit in that case?
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
I mean, was anyone's attention on the water tank in the first place?
Though. What was with that sound?
Strange sound during the magic show. Get it down, Chief. Get it down.
Lyney's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do.
You're right next to
Someone
them.
will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Isn't this a guard?
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
Oh.
I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Damn, alright. This was kind of quite the appearance.
Huh? You mean us?
That was
That's right.
quite the entrance.
If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to
Brilliant.
cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Ah, she seems like quite the rebellious one.
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
Nope.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Alright, sign me up.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
Alright, boss. I'm under your rule now.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
I'm guessing the other one's...
Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Should have called him Gold.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Don't question it, Paimon.
Well,
We're in France.
I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
Was that when she was like a mafia boss or something?
No, no need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Navia. Alright.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All
Sure.
merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
So, I'm guessing you want to investigate as well, Navia?
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time.
Whoa.
Judging from the look of things, I find Lyney an unlikely mastermind.
Alright, glad we're on the same page.
I think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
He's trash.
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Cool?
Furina sure was quick to point the finger at Lyney without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she?
Yeah, she has no backbone, apparently, as well.
That's not uncommon for her.
If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away.
Yeah, she backpedaled on that very quickly. Yeah, he's the one that did it. So, are you sure about that? I mean, we can't tell just yet.
Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Furina was going to back down in that situation.
Fair enough.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Honestly, full-heartedly respect that.
Alright, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Go on.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Yeah.
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me.
I'll answer
In your
all
opinion,
questions.
Do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
No.
Well?
No, not always. Just no.
And why would that be?
Something serious like a trial shouldn't be treated like entertainment.
See, Silver and Melus? I told you they'd be different.
Common sense. I feel like if you ask anyone outside of Fontaine that question, they will just say the same thing. I feel like this is just like a very exclusive thing to Fontaine people.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent.
Yes, very nice.
No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
Yeah, boss.
Alright, that's quite enough, Melus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Alright, bossman.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Shut up, Paimon. We're going with it.
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
I'm fine with that.
That's more like it.
I mean, seems like you've already agreed then.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth.
Alright, Melus, I'll take your word on it.
You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
Fair enough.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister?
I mean, you're not even looking at him, Paimon.
What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
Sorry, I don't talk to people like you. I'm too cool of a dude.
I have nothing to add.
Fair play.
Alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lyney's tricks. Thanks!
I mean, I guess everyone would want to know about that, wouldn't they? Silver, man, a few words. I like you.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
Poisson.
I can see that. Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I could make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
Yo, amen.
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle. That falls under my duties.
Oh, right.
Personal butler, respect it. We get to talk to the fairies.
But no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
Do we even have, like, ID?
We're not leaving. We're representing Lyney and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case.
Yes, sir.
Always guarding this entrance.
Yes.
After the Chief Justice gave the order,
I
everyone
remember.
coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection.
They were outside the door.
So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
Yeah, what about during the show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then, either.
I mean, they got...
So sure,
They were smuggled out underground. Through the underground.
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Lyney's
Adds up.
performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave.
You know what? I respect it. Staying dedicated to the duties.
We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So,
good eyesight, I think, as well.
The girl couldn't have left through here.
I think that's what they said.
Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Alright, thank you. Entrances and exits to the opera house. All done.
We checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Lyney's discussion with the guards is going.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
Molly.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Boss.
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
Alright. I can trust her.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and we'll be helping investigate this whole situation.
Navia.
And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
I like how dripped out they are. I love the suits.
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Now we just have to get Yanfei to help. Please.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
Oh.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
I just realized Neville, however you pronounce the name, she has like stars in her eyes.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes,
Called
a
it.
world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick.
Who would have guessed?
But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
The decorations.
Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back of the door isn't the same.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row.
Yeah, definitely
the back
call
of
that.
This door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
There's another box inside this one.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
To the underground, eh?
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
And this passage linked the two boxes together. That doesn't make sense though, right? Like, fair enough if he had like a minute to transfer himself to the other box. But this man literally went from one box to another within seconds. That's impossible.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley?
I do.
The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
So she was snatched off this and then replaced with Cornwell?
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
I mean, this is the prop room as well, so he could have like switched himself out with the girl. Or maybe he got, like, knocked out, the girl was kidnapped, and he was, like, put in there unconscious. Could also be the case.
So that's how you did it!
I mean, it was pretty obvious that's how he did it.
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Yeah, then what about your side of the trick?
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Interesting
yes.
point.
A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect.
A phonograph.
My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
She disguised herself
I
as...
was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
Okay.
That's how we were able to coordinate Lyney's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
Yep.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Classic.
And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
I mean, you gotta, like, wrap some bandages around, you know, chest area.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
I can tell a lot of thought was put into this.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area,
God, I'm yawning so
and
much.
the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
Yeah, she was kidnapped here.
Not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off.
Really? Yeah, I feel like it was pretty obvious. So this is the area we need to actually investigate.
And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime.
Arlecchino.
Look around. I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Lyney and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
that would be kind of base,
Thanks,
though.
everyone. We're counting on you.
Falsely accused me of a crime. The magic trick. On stage magic box. Audience sized magic box.
What's this?
Oh, a
Looks
struggle.
like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Lyney didn't mention this earlier.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Nah, that ain't the case.
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Alright, suspicious dropped hook. Oh, now this looks like a struggle.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Okay, now this is a struggle.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Okay, we gotta keep saying it was for a trick every single time.
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear?
Could be.
And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Broken flower face.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Okay. I mean, getting her out of her original clothing is probably the first thing they want to do. Lyney didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
Have your glasses changed? I thought they were like see-through before.
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Fair enough. But the clues... Fascinating. This vent.
What is this place?
Looks like a vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh.
Really?
Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Bing bing.
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, this space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Both Lyney and Lynette was occupied above, so this vent is definitely the way.
Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Tunnel vent. That's... I think that's all the clues
Seems
that...
we're just about done investigating down here.
Yep.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Well, I think the vent is the most important part there.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Melus returns. It seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Or maybe all the girls that go missing are already part of Arlecchino's group, and it's all like a big ruse for something bigger.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
Demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
Is there like a hidden wall?
Become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
It would seem so.
The plot thickens.
Hmm.
Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Furina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Lyney and Lynette.
Where did she go?
The charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
If we're speaking logically, where did she disappear off to? There is something underground that leads to them escaping.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
Ah.
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides.
The Oratrice will too?
That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice.
Emotions as well, huh?
To put it simply, it's
Kinda
as if
weird.
the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
See what I mean? She has like those like stars in her eyes. That's kind of cool.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Fascinating.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
But Focalors has like the end say in the matter, right? So even if we like do provide like a ton of evidence and everyone like agrees, she could just be like, nope, I disagree with this. That's against my headcanon.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? I thought Neuvillette called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice.
Yeah, until the machine breaks and then everyone starts losing their mind.
Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Bummer.
Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
Alright.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case.
Damn it. So, yeah, I guess Yanfei is off the table. God damn it. Well, maybe not. There's still a chance.
And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I mean, Charlotte will help us spread information.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Respect. Amen, sir.
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point.
Of course.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
My good sir, we have a lot of food stored away that's most likely gone moldy or expired, but oh well. Now's not the time to be picky, Paimon.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
Hey, later on it's a date.
To properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets.
Fellow tea drinker? Nice.
Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
So, Paimon.
Just kidding.
I agree.
Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
I respect it.
Here? But how?
Without a stove?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Alright.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
I respect it.
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I mean,
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
I have every ingredient imaginable.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
Alright.
These three
Better not
are
be shit.
quite the interesting group.
Must be a Spina de la Roselios thing. Nailed it. Navia methodically handles the ingredients.
And Paimon that it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling.
What are these things called again? Macarons? Yeah, like macarons?
From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process.
Hey, this is a vibe.
But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I respect.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
You know what? I kind of like these two. They've grown on me quite quickly. I mean, that's not what Paimon meant, but alright.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and baking like this?
Sure.
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks.
Alright, the
Don't
stereotype.
underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack.
Yeah, making macarons, it's a workout.
Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Come on.
Well,
Greedy git.
eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Honestly, I'm gonna need a sugar rush at this point. It's 7 in the morning and I'm very sleep deprived.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Wow. Yeah, why don't you take a break as well?
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
Come on, guys. We can handle if anything goes wrong.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber.
Yeah.
However, we can assume that Lyney and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician
Yes.
twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Yes, there's a secret chamber inside the secret chamber. That's a very good possibility.
Exactly. Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
So apart from the twins, we're left with 2 other people, the missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction.
That does seem possible.
Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
Yeah, there's no evidence that this third person even exists. I mean, I fully believe they do, even if there is no evidence.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims. Whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
Yeah, but she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked. Cowl tampered with everything.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search?
Nah, I think I've got a few parts of the story right.
Your macarons are amazing, though, Navia. They smell great. They're nice and crisp and super sweet.
You're getting distracted, Paimon.
They are my specialty, after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
You greedy git.
5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3. Honest.
Despicable.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine. If you ate them, you ate them.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you?
So, they disappeared then? Interesting.
If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
Paimon just falls.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal.
Invisible?
Melus, set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh?
Oh.
What are you doing?
It could be the possibility that they have some sort of like invisibility cloak. Possible.
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
There's really no need to do that.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
I'll just give us the recipe. We'll create like 500.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
They've got this down to the T. Navia does a second round of baking. Oh god. However, the discussion that follows does not need much
That's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again.
So 2 macarons disappeared.
It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right. Thanks for your help and for the snacks.
Fair enough.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Melus, it's time to go.
I'm never going to be able to pronounce that right.
I'll be back if I find anything new.
Possibility of a third person being involved. I like her character.
It's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably going to be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Nah, we don't have to review it. We'll just go straight in. It'll be fine, right? Nothing wrong with having a sleep-deprived attorney. Hey, everyone.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thoughts.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Yeah, thinking is a very good plan. I must admit.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lyney and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Furina understands any more about what happened than we do.
That is true.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
I mean, I would admit, I would think that she understands significantly less than us.
Best of luck to you.
Alright. Off we trot. Oh, maybe I should have read the notes.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well,
whoops.
How did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
Yeah, sorry. Again, we're not qualified.
No, we're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed.
Shut up.
That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
Mandem, have you got any evidence? No, so shut up.
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Yeah, just you wait, brother. Just you wait.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Lyney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Lynette just disappears. Lyney clearly reveals the details of the magic trick. Everyone in the audience is stunned.
In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Alright. Nice, setting the groundwork.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Furina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Lyney is clearly lying.
Yes. My evidence is he's chatting shit. Alright, I kind of respect that.
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so?
Oh.
And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
Go on.
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
Alright.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
Really? Nothing?
I see.
Ooh.
But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
What? Yeah, how could Lyney not know about the sound? Was...
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
Oh, that's not good. That's not a good look.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Ah.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Oh, not good. They probably represent the Artrice's stance on the trial. You know, just like a thing, guys, maybe we should have like talked about this stuff beforehand, you know, kind of get the story straight. We're awful attorneys.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
Well...
Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
God, I do want to just smash your face in.
You and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
Ooh. Ooh.
The House of the Hearth?
There for Tui. God damn it. This is the worst possible thing. Ah.
No wonder they did something like this.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. public opinion's gone off the rails. I can't help you now.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
God damn it.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
Well, that's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Oh, brother, this, you're in a stinky situation here. You have been set up.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Yo, can we, like, check the book here? Down, we missed something? Ah. Not good. And we actually missed quite a bit. Terrible. Wait, water. Dissolve into water. The same thing that happened to Lynette, right? With only leaving her clothes behind? Alright. I see.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted?
Hey man, I'm cooking, alright?
Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
Yeah, I'm cooking up.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Alright, I'll step up now.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
Wait, just wait, we're still cooking. Hold on a minute, let's have a look at this.
Order! Order! Mr. Lyney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Furina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House,
we're terrible
you were neither in the
lawyers.
box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
Yes. There's no doubt about the magician's ability to con others. Given how Lyney has concealed his identity, this could have all been a setup beforehand. Yeah, brother, I'm just saying, like, this is, like, information you have to tell your lawyers, you know? Plus, Childe is here in Fontaine, along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now.
Please answer my question, Mr. Lyney.
Alright, speak up, my guy.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Yeah, this is bad. Ah.
I knew it.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
Whoa, hold on a minute. Permission to speak, Your Honor. I have nothing to add.
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information. My defense cannot proceed.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be discussed.
Is that really necessary?
Screw you all.
Already as good as guilty.
Shut up.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say!
Yeah, all of you shut up.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
Alright.
So you would stick to Mr. Lyney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought.
Yeah, I'm surprised we knew that this was an option. When did the Traveler learn about this? I mean, I guess they probably learned a bit from Yanvei.
In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Shut up. Alright, Lyney, my man. You have to tell us everything. Whilst the court is adjourned, you meet with Lyney and Lynette. Alright, reveal everything.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
You didn't expect that?
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two.
Let's not jump the gun just yet.
Our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys.
I mean,
not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm vibing.
Very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but Please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset.
Yes,
but our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face.
So what I feel like is happening here is they want to do good, and then Arlecchino is manipulating them into what they're doing is right, when in reality it's just satisfying her greed.
I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
But how can we know that this isn't all just another lie?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point.
Fair play.
You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too.
Everything was manipulated into making you sus as all out.
But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
In this case? Hold on, brother. Hold on a minute. You need to tell me everything.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but...
Right, explain the other issue first. Where did you actually go whilst the trick was being performed?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately?
Gnosis.
During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Yeah.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
Huh.
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box.
Ah. So that's the reason Lenny didn't hear the noise, because he was so far down that he just didn't hear it whatsoever. I'm guessing.
So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
And what did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
Ooh. Go on.
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought.
Yeah, so I think my theory before was right about dissolving into the water, because it was the same with what happened with Lynette, with her disappearing and only her clothes remaining. So I feel like that's what happened here.
After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why did you want to understand how the Oratrice operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
100% being operated by a Gnosis. That has to be the case.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either.
Hey, what did that voice sound like? I feel like we can get a bit more out of this.
But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
No.
Well, Traveler,
I trust them.
you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Yeah, I believe in the facts. I believe you. I will defend you from these charges.
Okay, thank you.
We have your back.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two.
Bro, it is.
If we want to
It is
refute
bad.
the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need.
Huh?
The adjournment's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Lyney's statement. The voice in the Ortrice core chamber. The brief adjournment ends and the nail-biting trial reconvenes.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Lyney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Furina as fact. Therefore, Lady Furina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
Alright, how about it?
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention.
Go at it.
At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Lyney's perspective.
Alright. Yeah, the wind lines. Oh. Bloody Nora, okay.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
I like this.
He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound.
Oh?
Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Lyney red-handed. So Lyney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box.
I mean, it makes sense.
Afterward, Lyney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
I mean, there's a few problems with that.
That's the truth behind what happened.
I mean, where did the body go?
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Furina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Furina is the order of events. What Lyney experienced and what he saw.
Voice acting. Alright, where to start? Identify loopholes. The loud sound was heard from Lyney and Hazel's fight. I think for this one, Lyney claims to have heard a mysterious voice.
Seems this won't produce a particularly effective rebuttal.
Oh, okay, I see what we have to do now. I see now.
Lyney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Yes. Now we can start working off something. There we go.
According to Lyney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
And this one maybe? No. It'll be the clothes, right?
Lyney did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Boom.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Alright, go at it. I mean, I don't think Paimon should be talking, but alright.
When the countdown started, Lyney did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored.
But I want to know what whose voice it was. Was it female? Was it male?
Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room.
Ooh.
Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
This is just a bunch of he said, she said, right? Really? That was enough to convince people, so be it.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Oh, wasn't it awesome?
Wasn't I the one who figured it out?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
Correct.
That's right!
Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you say that Cornwell bumped into Lyney by chance.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lyney only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh,
true.
They have a point.
That's right, you tell them!
Yeah.
That's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
I mean, it could be like, oh yeah, he got rid of it, he just killed them so he wouldn't talk when he woke up. I mean, it could also be the case.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
My source is I made it the f up. Do you remember how you refuted Lyney's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Bingo, you caught on. Your claim has become a critical clue. Oh shit, is this what we're gonna do? We're kind of missing an option here. I'm sorry. This one?
That's right! Lyney wasn't in the box
There
or
we go.
in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance.
We got it.
This means that when the crime happened, Lyney had already entered the basement via the vent.
Bingo, bingo.
The clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played.
Alright, we got it.
To think you'd use such logic.
Well
then,
I have
if
no
it
idea
wasn't
what's going
Lyney who
on.
committed the crimes, then who was it?
The murderer was. Brother, I don't have a clue. I should have been reading this. Lyney gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using the box inside a box, the idea was the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath, and Lyney himself said would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of the onstage interactions. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reasons for this remain unknown.
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along?
It could be. Feel like
the
it's.
deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant.
Feel like it is Cal. Hey, got it. Predicted it from the beginning.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious?
We're going with it.
The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Hopefully.
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
Why does she talk with that type of like, it's like baby talk, right? Oh, is that so? You know, that kind of thing.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Okay. Let's
Halsey's
do
clothing was in the
this one. Fuck.
His clothing was in the tunnel.
Oh shit, did I fuck it up? Oh god. Oh god, I think I messed up. I think I got too many things wrong. God damn it. I'm too dumb. I think it just gave me pity. Oh, I should be reading this. Sorry, my brain's like struggling. Lyney was not in the tunnel for a minute. This would have given time for Cornwell to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house. So even if he had taken her, there would be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world would Halsey go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track?
Okay.
Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely.
There's probably an exit that we didn't find.
And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Yep, I told you. That water is the water, escaping from the water tank. Wait, could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Cut your trash talk, we figured it out.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Objection! Hold on a second.
Lyney was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
Yep.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Yep. Ah, so it just wasn't winnable then.
The vase was not
Gotcha.
broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
Mm-hmm. Unless you needed to do things in, like, the exact order to get this. But I feel like that's not the case. Bada bing, bada boom. Hypothesis correct. Alright. We got there. I was stressing.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
You saw it happen.
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
They're an Oceanid? That could be possible. I request that we examine Cornwell's personal effects.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Lyney already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection.
Let's give it a shot then.
Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Let's have a look then.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment.
My boy.
The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense.
This would be much easier if we had Yanfei, I'm just saying.
Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
Did we not do this at all?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
God, you talk all high and mighty, and it's gonna feel even better when you get proven wrong.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress.
Yo, this leg cross is very common. I don't know if this is like a reason, but...
Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
After some time, a guard returns with news.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste.
Alright,
we
let's
discovered
have it.
several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately.
Wait, is that?
The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
Primordial. Oh, okay.
The primordial sea.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you would know about that, right?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times.
Yes, sir.
One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty.
So that's how they escaped. I called it. I did call it, that they escaped through the water.
The notes also state that these dissolution properties work
water.
exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject.
Ah, only works on people from Fontaine. That's interesting. I'm guessing that's due to, like, the energies, maybe?
As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
Yeah, screw you, Focalors.
You gotta be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Yes,
something
sir.
so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe not, sir. Maybe not.
Can become water. Does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Mademoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Ah, screw him. You go do...
Let's go. Just trust me.
You do you.
Order! Order!
Ah, shut up.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Lyney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Like, how did it end up with him dead? Because, like, I can't see him, like, fair enough if him dying was part of the plan, but why didn't he get rid of the evidence if that was the case?
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor.
That's just what I can't understand.
If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all.
How long has this Archon quest been going on for? It feels like 3 hours.
Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Primordial is kind of sus. Because I've heard the theories, I've heard theories revolving around, like, primordial stuff. I haven't looked into it, but I'm gonna have to after this. Oh, here we go. Oh, so I could have been... okay, so I could have been reading this entire time. That would have made this much easier. I'm an idiot.
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Okay, so it's the hook.
The water from the primordial
water
sea
here.
should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box.
There we go. What item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime?
I remember there was something else in the inner layer of that box.
The box. Okay. That... okay. Yeah,
The
that was this.
deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant.
I thought it might have been like a little
He would have been
switcheroo.
able-
Bada bing. Easy. Okay. I should have been reading. It's because I skipped the tutorial, and that's what screwed me over the first time, I'm guessing.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again!
Go at it,
In the
Paimon.
original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey.
Makes sense.
Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
What a blunder, what an idiot.
That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Yay.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Yeah, that's quite the blunder.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
Was there notes?
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go at it, lad.
We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Lyney's personal effects.
Oh, brother. God damn it. The setup is real. Alright.
What?
That can't be.
God, I want to punch her so bad.
Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you.
Should have seen that coming. Damn it.
Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
You are lucky you're over there. I'm just saying, you are. Is no one gonna come to like a conclusion that it might have been planted there as a setup? Just putting it out there. Oh, god damn it.
Lyney did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent.
Right.
Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Lyney desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime.
Okay.
Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
Alright, well played, well played.
Am I right, Mr. Lyney?
We've used up all the evidence we collected.
Oy.
There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here.
We're kinda screwed.
Is this the end of the road?
Yo, can we get Yanfei in here, please? Ah.
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this.
Where's Boss?
Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I mean, Boss ran out. She's off to do something. She can gather some evidence.
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale.
Ah. Ooh, that did
Now
not
then,
good.
my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone,
Boss.
but I must interject.
Hell yeah.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal
Yeah, she's come to save us. Let's go.
Come on, don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick.
Oh, voice
one
line
that
cut
can
off.
bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes.
Oh, damn.
Please, do the honors, Mr. Lyney, if you would be so kind.
I like the music though.
What in the world is she saying?
I mean, yeah, the person that disappeared would act as a very good witness.
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again?
Okay.
And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lyney and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rosula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
Yeah, I'm just going along with the road. Sure. Oh, the click.
Voila.
Oi.
Sorry for the interruption.
Hi.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
Ah. So she was the suspect. She was the one that did it. Man, a guy still died, but...
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
Fascinating.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Oh.
I heard that Lyney's show was going to be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lyney was the one who caught me in the act.
Honestly, totally forgot about that part.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Lyney even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes.
Okay, so we're still right.
I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
A professional thief could make it work.
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
You know, okay, I believe her. I believe her. I'm letting her cook.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Yeah, now it's time to refute the Hydro Archon's previous reasoning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Alright, cooking time, boys.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Yes, sir. And this will be the vase.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowl.
And this one.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
You know what? She nailed it.
It's Detective Paimon time!
Alright, even though we're the ones that figured it out, go on, Paimon.
Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. so she kicks the door open, producing the thud we all heard.
Hey, she smashed it though with that.
Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lily-Ann had not dissolved.
Ooh.
He did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket.
I just caught onto that the second she said that.
Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lily-Ann back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily-Ann came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box.
Oh, good work, good work.
No way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Easy enough. And that'll do it. Coach up the right response. What say you, Archon?
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She's found it, though.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses.
Ah.
Talk about a sneaky thief.
How's she done that, then?
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
She's so skilled that she's able to sweep 2 macarons from 5 people. How?
Ah, so that's the whole story. Bravo! Bravo!
Easy.
Now then, Lady Furina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Furina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
Yeah? You're trying to leave? Okay. Yeah.
What? Are you reading my mind now?
Oh, brother, this ain't going good.
No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Not when you dig yourself that deep.
Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events.
Alright, we win.
The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks.
So the man accidentally offed himself. Fair play to him.
He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water.
Sign me out.
If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise.
So, bro, why am I wet? What is this part of the plan? Is this part of the trick? What's going on here?
Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lily-Ann. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim.
He smashed it though. I mean, she smashed it though, didn't she?
Lily-Ann, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Lyney, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Lyney, the accused, is in fact innocent.
We did it. It took some time, but we did it.
While there is much in Lyney and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Ah, this is where it goes wrong. It's gonna judge to execute them, because it's because Lyney like discovered the core of it.
Lyney and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Fair enough. Bro, it was me.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something gonna go wrong here. Let's not celebrate just yet.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn.
Huh?
How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Lyney's baggage?
Oh yeah, this part. Go on, good sir.
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know.
Okay, let's not.
Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Lyney, but you, yes?
Oh, called out, my man.
I'm sure
go
you
on.
know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly, unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders.
Yep.
We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Lyney, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore,
my man
you
is
would
in a
be
rough
wise
spot.
to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
This is his only best option. So I'm guessing his higher up is the house of I can't remember the name of it, the one that Arlecchino runs, because it's already been confirmed that she's fine with betraying the Fatui. I feel like that's gonna be the case.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea.
This man's about to get assassinated.
I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
There you go. Knew it. Yeah, he talked too much, man. He turned into water. That's what it does to you. Is that the sin? I don't know. Alright, well, may he rest in peace.
No longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act.
Damn.
All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Oh, damn. Oh, the Erematons. However, nothing is found on the scene apart from the liquid left behind by Vigula something.
So, we're just going back now?
Seems like it. The boss is most certainly Arlecchino, right? We're not needed here anymore.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Saw, dude. So.
Lyney.
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me.
Oh, Traveler's pissed.
Let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just didn't wish to see anyone be falsely accused.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight.
Go on.
I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Lyney this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all.
Yeah, I feel like that's just...
who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
So I feel like this whole thing is just manipulating orphans, which is gonna be sad.
A knave? The one who can controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past.
Go
Back
for it,
when
lad.
our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there.
Okay, that's kind of cute.
To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever.
Good
Before
brother.
long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
See, this to me just shouts manipulation. Like there's no tomorrow.
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
I see.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
Fair point, innit?
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me.
This is no longer fun.
I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts.
Oh man.
The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
So you mean to tell me that you then killed the man, right?
Oh no. So he was gonna...
Alright.
But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Villains.
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
Alright. It also might be the case that Arlecchino is good and she might be playable. Who knows? Maybe I've been wrong this entire time. She might just be a bit mentally unstable, but we can fix her.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
Man, oof.
Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here.
Didn't Childe and the Wanderer say that Arlecchino would betray anyone, even those closest to her? So, I don't know about that.
I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles.
Fair
but
enough.
She was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans.
She's after the Gnosis.
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis.
God, I don't know what to believe.
Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland.
So, I'm guessing the primordial sea will rise then, and everyone from Fontaine will just end up dissolving into it?
To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you. Like, there is trust there, just not fully.
It's alright, I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the house, I have never stopped making my own decisions.
That's good.
And that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Lyney.
And at least he isn't like blind following Arlecchino. He's still making his own personal choices. I understand.
Bye, Lyney.
This is a long Archon quest. This is gonna be a pain to edit, even though I'm already sleep deprived.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Doing my own magic
you
trick.
looking for us, Navia?
You know how it is.
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
I mean, I'm sorry.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Lyney.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now?
Yes.
And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
There's still something that's bound to go wrong, though, right?
Ah. I see.
Oh, I feel bad. Come on,
I won't
man.
lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you.
No.
But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all.
Nah, let's help her. I've grown to like a character. Alright, we're helping her.
Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
No, come on,
Say
man.
that, Navia?
Come on, traveler.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me.
Nostalgia?
Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Sure. But I feel like this is where things might go bad.
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later.
Why do I feel like something's wrong here?
Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
If you say so.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Nah, man. I have a weird feeling. Something's about to go really wrong.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right, then. Let's have our farewell meal.
Act 1 completed. Oh, that was a very long act. We started that 4 hours ago. Holy, that is mad. So that was Act 1 of the Fontaine Archon quest. There was a few interesting things in there. There was a few things that went wrong. So far, I don't think any of my predictions have come true. Like, maybe the bottom one is, like, starting to come true. But, again, this is predictions, like, throughout of all of Fontaine's Archon quests. So, they might come true in Act 2, maybe, somewhere along the lines. And maybe the 5th one is true as well. Arlecchino will manipulate Lyney and Lynette. But who knows? Only time can tell. And if you want to see if my predictions do come true, and you want to see my future reactions to the Fontaine Archon quest, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're going to surely be in for a treat. And yeah, I'll see you then.